So as I'm sure many people have heard already, the new plan the Republicans have to win the 2024 elections isn't by changing their policies. It's not by being more inclusive or by stopping their hateful fascist rhetoric. No, it's actually it's by forcing the economy to crash on purpose to make Joe Biden look bad. You see, with their new budget proposals, in which they're holding the debt ceiling hostage, they proposed so much shit that is purposefully, specifically just meant to kill the fucking economy. Things like further destroying the educational system, getting rid of a bunch of teachers, getting rid of a bunch of cops and FBI agents, as well as getting rid of over 2,000 Border Patrol agents while they constantly cry about the open border. This is their great, brilliant plan to try to win 2024. Somebody else on here actually explained it a lot better, so I'll turn it over to her.
Y'all, I've got a hard truth for you, and I hope you'll spread the word. It's looking more and more certain that the Republicans are going to drive us into a recession. And if we don't get very loud very soon, it is going to happen in the next 2 to 3 months. Let me explain. We know that yesterday, House Republicans passed a bill that was part spending plan and part promise. The promise, of course, being that if they get the cuts outlined in the plan, they will consent to raise the debt ceiling for 1 year. In other words, they will agree to pay the money we have already spent, that Congress appropriated, that we owe. Now, bear in mind that the two things don't need to be in the same bill like that. In fact, they shouldn't be. But Republicans want cuts, and they know they won't get them without a legislative gun to Democrats' heads. The gun is the debt ceiling. But what we all need to understand is that their plan, which would cut 22% of all government spending that was non-military, is also a gun. Republicans have given us two fatal choices. Don't believe me? Economists are in agreement. They have said that Republicans' cuts would send the economy into a recession. They would cost the economy 2.6 million jobs. They would effectively destroy a year's worth of economic growth, not to mention all the people who would be jobless, hungry, uninsured, and more as a result of those cuts. So, not a real option, right? And that's what Biden and the Democrats are saying. To which some might say, well, then I guess we have to default. But let's review just a little of what would happen if we did that. The unemployment rate will spike to 8%. The typical worker close to retirement will lose $20,000 off their retirement funds. Prices for everything from groceries to gas will rise. We'll see late payments or no payments on federal programs like Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Credit card rates would rise. The average 30-year mortgage would cost $130,000 more. Oh, and did I mention the extreme stock market volatility? All of this and more will happen for one reason, because Republicans adamantly refuse to raise their rich donors' taxes. It's despicable. It's also opposed by the overwhelming majority of Americans, but Republicans don't care, and they won't start to, unless a whole lot of Americans who don't want to lose everything they have ever worked for get very, very loud, very, very fast.
We all need to raise a big fucking stink about this and keep pointing it out. Because just like we did with the Restrict Act, once we all on TikTok started talking about the Restrict Act, the politicians backed the fuck off, and they're kind of being quiet about it now. When we all start talking about something and expose it, they fucking run and hide. Everyone needs to be pointing out the blatant fucking hypocrisy of the GOP and their attempts to kill the economy just to try to make Biden look bad. Because that's really all they have. They have no policies of their own. They have nothing to benefit the American people. They have no fucking plan to help anyone except themselves. So get loud, because this needs to be pointed out constantly.